You didn't lose your memory. You lost your attention, and I'll prove it with your own front door keys. Margaret is 67, patting the same pocket for the third time, saying what we all say. Well, it's my age. It isn't. Those keys were never lost. Nobody was watching when they landed. Here's how they vanished. She came in with 2 bags of shopping, the phone against her ear, Biscuit barking across the road. Somewhere in all that, her hands put the keys down while her head was 3 streets away. Every step of that is ordinary. None of it is the years. So, the rules at this table. No lectures, and none of that "what do you expect at your age" nonsense. Mislaid keys and a name on the tip of your tongue are ordinary as rain. 7 everyday reasons we forget, and the years aren't one of them. Count along. How many of the 7 are yours? Reason number 1, the famous one, the keys. Margaret turns the house over. Sofa cushions, the fridge, the biscuit tin, and the biscuit tin again. Sound familiar? But here's the thing. She can tell you what she wore on her wedding day. She can't tell you where her hands were 4 minutes ago. Put plainly, remembering a small thing works rather like a photograph. For the picture to exist later, somebody had to press the button at the time. Come through the door loaded with bags and nobody presses anything. The camera wasn't broken. It was pointed somewhere else. The fix costs 1 bowl. Give the keys a home by the door and use it every time, hands full or not. Try it with me right now. Pick the spot, a saucer, a hook, an old sugar bowl. The next reason is stranger. It wipes a thought clean in a single step. Reason number 2. Margaret stands up, walks into the bedroom with tremendous purpose and arrives with nothing. She stands there like a woman who's been teleported. You've done this too. We all have. And there's good news hiding in it. The thought didn't die. It got set down at the door. Roughly speaking, a thought you're carrying is like a bag of shopping. At the door, you need a free hand for the handle, so you set the bag down, push through, and walk on without it. They say a doorway does this to all of us, at every age. Go back, and the bag is still there. The fix is almost silly. Say the errand out loud on your way, going for the jar. Out loud, like a woman with a plan. Or carry a piece of the errand with you, the empty jar itself. The next reason turns up with a friendly face and a handshake, and it's gone before you've let go. Reason number 3, and it happens in 4 seconds flat. The new fellow at number 9 puts his hand out. Morning, I'm Walter, and Margaret, already busy deciding what she'll say next, hears roughly none of it. Know that feeling? She didn't forget Walter's name. She never once had it. Put plainly, a name arrives like a seed dropped on hard ground. It sits on the surface, and the first small breeze carries it off. Press it in once, say it back, use his name, and it has something to hold on to. The seed was never a poor one. Nobody pressed it in. The fix takes 1 second. Say the name straight back. Walter. Good to meet you, Walter. You've pressed it in. And 1 honest word. If the forgetting is frequent and it's getting in the way of your days, that's a calm conversation for your doctor. Not a fright, just good sense. The next reason you'll laugh at, it's usually sitting on your own head. Reason number 4 is my favorite because it's so cheeky. Margaret hunts the house for her reading glasses. The glasses are on her forehead. Heard yourself say that? 20 minutes of honest searching, and the thing was riding along the whole time, like a hat that came to help. Roughly speaking, hands that have done a thing 10,000 times stop filing the paperwork. It's the path worn across the grass out in the garden. Your feet take it without asking, and afterwards, you couldn't swear you walked it. Pushing the glasses up is that path. It isn't a fault. It's what practice looks like. The fix makes the automatic thing loud for 1 second. When they go up, tap the frame and say, "Up they go." Silly? Completely. It also works because now somebody noticed. Same trick fits the phone and the mug you put down mid-sentence. The next reason eats whole afternoons and leaves no crumbs. Reason number 5, the greedy one. The kettle's on, the phone's ringing, the pan wants turning, and somebody at the door would like a word about the bins. Recognize the scene? Margaret is doing 7 things, which means Margaret is properly doing none of them. Here's the trick, roughly speaking. Attention is 1 pair of hands, never 7. It's the fuse box out in the hall. Run the kettle, the iron, the heater, and the telly together, and the whole lot trips. Not because the wiring is old, because you asked it for more than any wiring gives. The fix is the least fashionable advice in the world. One thing at a time. Finish the sentence before you start the next. Put the shopping down before you answer the phone. It's slower, and it's the only speed that remembers anything. The next reason happens in the hours you're not there for. Reason number 6, and this one's sneaky. 3 poor nights in a row, and Wednesday comes out blurry. Not gone, blurry, like a day seen through a wet window. You've had that week too, we all have. And Margaret blamed the years when the years were fast asleep. They say the night is when the day gets put in order. Think of bread dough. Knead it and bake it straight away, and out comes something flat and heavy. Leave it overnight, and by morning, it's risen into a thing you can slice. The day is the kneading, the night is the rising. The fix hands the night its hours back and asks nothing clever. The same bedtime, a dark, quiet room, and the phone left out of the bed because a bright screen at midnight is a very poor bedtime story. Let the dough rise. The last reason is waiting on the other side of your front door. Reason number 7, Margaret's afternoon, the armchair, and a bright screen handing her 40 things she'll never need again. Ask her at supper what she saw and she'll tell you, honestly, nothing. Your own thumb knows this hour by heart. The screen gave her plenty. It never asked her for anything back. Meanwhile, Dorothy is out with Biscuit, as she always is. Her afternoon is the bakery and a proper natter with the girl at the counter. Same birthdays as Margaret, but Dorothy has to find the words, use the names, keep track of whose grandson broke whose fence. They say a mind kept in company stays quick. Dorothy puts it plainer. A screen takes the names away. A conversation makes you use them. The fix is 15 minutes and one real conversation. Walk to the bakery and don't just point at the loaf. Ask the girl at the counter how her mother is keeping. Ring your sister instead of tapping a little heart on her photograph. The names get used. A day with people in it is a day that stays. Margaret, a few weeks on. The keys live in a blue bowl by the door and haven't gone missing once. She still walks into a room and forgets why, because everybody does. But now she goes back, stands still, and it comes. And this morning, out on the road. Morning, Walter. Walter has no idea what an achievement he is. So, all 7 on the table. A home for the keys. The errand out loud. The name said back. 1 loud second for the automatic. 1 job at a time. The night gets its hours. The afternoon gets legs and company. And my own count? 6 of the 7 had my name on them. I'd argue about the 7th, but the cat was watching. Whatever your number, it isn't a verdict. It's a list, and a short one. Margaret has stopped apologizing to rooms. And the cat? Unbearable about all of this. The cat has never mislaid a single item in her life. 1 spot for sleeping, 1 spot for the bowl, 1 spot for sitting exactly where she isn't wanted. 11 years she's run this masterclass, and nobody took notes. After 60, a mislaid set of keys is not a verdict on you. It's a receipt for a busy life. You know what I've come round to thinking? We don't forget our days. We were never quite in the room for them. And I'll be honest, I spent years blaming the years, and the years never said a word in their own defense. And now, the one honest minute. Everything here is everyday observation, not medical advice. We talked about attention and ordinary habits, never treatment or diagnosis. But if changes are frequent and they're getting in the way of your life, please talk to your doctor. That's not alarm, that's good sense. Take good care of yourself and of the people you love. Margaret will lose her glasses by Thursday. They'll be on her head. So, how many of the 7 were yours? Tell me your number below. Nobody's marking anybody at this table. We're all just looking for our own glasses. And pass this to the friend who turns her whole house over every Tuesday. She'll know which one she is. Then subscribe, because next time, the reason the body takes half an hour to agree to the day